There is a segment in this video that is not, it's not right, y'all, but I left it in. Well, I sped it up like everything else. Hey y'all, APG Jamie here. So happy that you're with me. So, we're going to put our journal pages together. You know, y'all know I like to journal, do art journal pages on the flat often, not necessarily over time, but often. And what that means is when you put them together, you have to determine whether you're going to stitch straight on the page or how you're going to assemble them in a book. If you want to put them in a book, you don't have to put them in a book, I suppose. Anywho, I'm putting them in a book. And the last ones I assembled were sort of mostly in an accordion type style. This one's not an accordion. It's not accordion, okay? Now it's coming up on the part that I did wrong, okay? Now in my head I thought I had it worked out, but just because it was in my head doesn't mean it's gonna work out. So as you saw, I put, you know, what my little flippy flap thing there, and I'm gluing the two pages onto the flippy flap back to back, and I'm gonna pick up another two pages and do the same thing. And then it occurs to me that I'm just like, how am I going to sew this in a book? Because I was going to do the pamphlet stitch, and already had my cover. So, you know, so I had to rethink it. And I pulled off those first two flip things like that. And I thought, okay, so I need to glue. Yes, I'm gluing the journal pages back to back, but I'm only using one side of the flipper thing, okay? And I decided to save glue. I would just make them a pocket. Will I ever use the pocket? No, I'm just real sure I won't, but you know, someday some great grandchild might go, oh hey, there's pockets in here, I can put my secret stuff in here, you know, if they even still have paper then. So we're gluing it and we're smushing the sides all down. So that's one half of the flipper. We've got a front and a back page on, okay? So now we're going to take this other part of the flipper. Oh, and those are 2-inch, not that it matters, okay, but I'll tell you because I remember, lucky you, I remember, a 2-inch strip that has a score down the middle, and then I realized I needed a second score so I could have just a little space between the pages, because, you know, white is better. So we're sticking that, okay, that would be a front to front, and then we're going to put the back on this one, the back page. So it's 4 different journal pages per little flippy flap, okay? See, is it going the right way? Is it facing the right direction? Up and down and up and side to side? It's like, yeah. And I do like journaling. So sorry, excuse me. I do like doing art journal pages on the flat, you know, landscape. Oh, bless my heart. Y'all been waiting for that one. In a landscape orientation, which is side to side. Up and down is portrait, okay? That's how they used to paint people's portraits back in the olden days, okay? So, I don't have enough clamps to clip everything together, so I thought, well, I'll just press it in this big old heavy book over her. So that's what I did. And let them dry for, I don't know, a couple hours maybe. Wasn't real long enough, but that's that Aleene's original tacky glue. It you know, once it grabs a hold, it's a hold, okay? And I don't have a ton of journal paper. How many did I end up with? I don't know, 20. I don't know. Anyway, because I just, pile them up over, because y'all know I like to put stuff in piles. So I just stacked it all up over there, and I'm like, okay, well, that's enough. Let's see if we can stick these together in that cover, because I'd made a cover out of the faux grass, fake grass from the carpeting department of your home improvement store. Anyway, we got that quite some time ago, and we made the cover then, because that's what I wanted to use. I'm like, well, I'm going to put my next flat journal pages in here, and I finally got around to it. So, that's what we're doing. And Champ is looking at me like I'm talking just to him. He's such a good boy, Champ. And we're gluing and gluing and gluing, and yes, it's sped up, and yes, I kind of did cut some portions out, felt like, but oh y'all, so many of these pages are interactive, because I like that. Do I do it all the time? Absolutely not, but I do like it. So we're smashing them in our big O book that I actually got to use the book pages out of, but then I thought, well, this is such a great big old heavy book, I need it to smudge stuff in. That's where I put the when I pick little weed flowers and I need to smash them, that's I put them between other paper so they don't stick to the book, and like that, and smash them in there until I'm like, oh, I got flowers in there. Pull them out, and that's about it. Sometimes I do something with them, but not real often. I just seem to be a collector. That's me, collector. I like all these pages, and as I've looked at them again and touched them, I thought, oh, I like this page. Can't believe I did this page. But there are the one or two or more, whatever, that's like, oh, I can't believe I didn't throw this away. But I still save them because I did them. That's why, because I did them. There's different background techniques on them, and almost all of the ones you will see were done in a video. Not all of them, almost. I think I have a playlist, and I'll do my best to remember to put it in the description box below and in the upper right hand corner. Okay, so this is the faux grass cover that we made quite some time ago, and that's the journal closure, because I wasn't sure if I was going to want a closure, so I put one on there, because it's like I don't have to use it just because it's there. And I'm trying to clip the strings. It's a type of rope twine stuff. Just was clipping that out of the way, and now I need to determine which is my front cover and which is my back cover, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. It's like, however it comes, that's going to be. So there's all our pages, and we've got them all sewed together, and that's the last one, because we're starting from the back. We're going to sew them in a pamphlet stitch, and I'm not necessarily a teacher, but y'all probably already figured that out, because y'all smart. Okay, y'all real smart. Anyways, I'm going to do a pamphlet stitch. Okay, and that's wax linen thread, and it's tied on there, and I have to untangle it to get it off, and thread a needle. Now, I will tell you that when you're doing the pamphlet stitch, you want roughly 3 lengths of your height. That's the height of your spine, okay? Tall. Okay, that page, it's supposed to come out like that. It was on purpose. If you didn't see that video, that was on purpose. So now we're sewing it in. We started in the back. And for, if you want your threads on the outside, you start from the outside, okay, when you're sewing them in. If you want them on the inside, you start from the inside, because that's what you do. And now the trash man's decided to come. So if you hear all that banging around noise, it's the trash man, okay? They finally decided to come by my house. They're like, we're waiting for APG to do a voiceover before we go to her house, okay, y'all? And everybody was like, yeah, sounds like a great idea to me. So, when your pamphlet stitch like that, you have a long thread in the middle, and you want to make sure that you have a tail on each side, one on one side and one on the other side of that long thread. And when you're pulling them tight, you have to be more careful not to tear your paper. Well, in this case I used cardstock, but still it'll tear too, y'all, if you didn't know that. And I'm just tying a square knot, and because it's the waxed linen thread, did I say linen thread? Whatever, waxed thread, whatever, it will come apart, it will come untied, but you gotta really seriously work at getting it apart, because once you tie them in a knot, they pretty well done. Okay? Forever? I don't know. Maybe. These 2 pages were done on backgrounds that were done by other people in Art Joy of Sharing Facebook group. Okay? Back at the beginning of 2021. Yeah, my frozen tore up studio stage. Okay, where I couldn't do anyway. We had started a project where we were going to use each other's. It was doing a community thing. We were sharing our backgrounds for other people to do art on. And so I did a couple pages, and in my studio froze and all that. Oh, don't even want to stop thinking about it. So that's what those were. They never did get filmed. I'm not even sure they ever shared videos. Of course, I didn't share videos that wasn't filmed. I don't think I ever even shared photos with the group. Oh, I was so distraught, y'all. It's okay now. It's all more butter. Oh, and that's the page where I made the faux diodes. It's some kind of electrical thing that has to do with cars or other electronic stuff. I don't know, maybe just the olden day stuff. I don't know. But I saw one of them somewhere. Oh, it was probably saw one in an electronic video way back, and I thought, well, that's a cool looking thing. I wonder if I could get some of those. And I checked, and I could have bought some online, and they were, fairly cheap enough, but cheap enough? Make up words. Do my best. They were fairly inexpensive enough at that time, okay? And, that might have even been 2020. I don't know. No, I don't know. 21. So, anyways, as I was trying to say, I made my own diodes. Diodes? Yeah, I think that's what they're called. They're pretty cool looking. I still have a couple left. I pick them up every once in a while. I think, I should do something with this. Then I sit back down. That's about as far as that goes. So we're putting our sewing in the last signature, which is actually the first signature, because it's got, the oldest page first. Okay? I think this oldest page went back to 2017. I don't remember. It could have been 15 or 16. I don't know. They're not in there real tight, but they're in there just fine. Now, I started tying these knots on this because I'm like, well, I don't really want to have to tie 2 knots to, keep the journal closed. My computer decided it was going to go brain dead. It ran out of memory. Same difference though, right? So, anyway, I tied 1 knot on the back, and then I put 3 knots on the front where I took the 2 strings and tied them together, okay? We're just flipping it around. See, 3 knots. And I thought, well, I like that. That makes me feel happy. And you know, it's all about feeling happy around her. So now we're going to do a little flip through. Okay, and you're going to get a basic view of the pages. Some of them might have stuff to read. Not necessarily going to read them to you. Most of them have pockets or little hidden spots or whatnot. It just, those particular windows open. I don't know if I even show you that in this part. Nope, we're just going to flip right on past it. She's got a tag, and those were pockets behind at least one of them hearts. And this is a moving butterfly. Watch. Look. Oh, that is so cool. Yes, there are videos on these. Like I said, I'll try to remember to, I hope I have a play. I'm pretty sure I do. Pretty sure about that, people. Okay, so doors and magnets that help keep them closed, and strings sticking out, and there's that page with the diodes on them. See them running across the smaller faces down there, and there's pockets and cracker package and tagging this one, and your pages aren't, they're kind of being stubborn. That one's got a pocket, and that was, I don't know, maybe that's 2021. I don't know, people. Why are y'all keep asking me when are these from? I don't know when they from. So because those two were the backgrounds made by other people, thanks y'all, they're amazing. When I printed them off on my printer always leaves that little white border. I can't stand it. Anyway, I trimmed it off, so that's why they're a wee bit shorter or smaller. So focus, girlfriend. I know, I hear y'all all the time telling me that. So this is a slider. Slides one way, little flippy flap, and it slides back the other way. Kind of got to jiggle wiggle it, and, Oh, that's this whole poem. A whole poem. It slides in there, and it's essentially invisible. If it were smaller, it would really, 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 really be invisible. There's a countdown. That's a poem too. Oh, where all these poems are coming from sometimes. They just happen. And sometimes they don't. So that's pretty much it for our faux grass flat journal page assemblage binding. And we're tying it shut. Hopefully the voiceover time is working out pretty smooth. Photo montage. Excuse me. Makes me happy, y'all. And sometimes I do go back and look at even some more older journal pages, just because it's like, wow, I can't believe I did that. And sometimes it's like, ugh, I can't believe I did that. Why didn't I throw it away? I don't know. It's just how it is. So I'm really happy all of y'all are here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Your valuable time. Especially your valuable time. Valuable. Okay? You can make up words too if you want to. You want to. Oh, pretty. Make me happy, y'all. I want you to be happy when you art your way on however you like to do art journal pages. You do, don't you? Because it can make you feel so much better just by doing that. Okay, just really. And they're fun. You don't have to do anything with them. Thanks for watching. Happy art, y'all.